Whether you're flying an hour away or 11 hours away, travel is stressful, especially when you're someone like me that's not excited about flying. The biggest stressor, those long, slow-moving security lines at the airport. What if I told you there were 3 ways you could take away that stress? They are TSA PreCheck, Global Entry, and Clear Plus. In this video, I'm going to walk you through each one of these services, what they do, as well as what they cost. More importantly, I'm going to let you know of the common mistakes made with each one of these services and the 3 costly mistakes you have to avoid. Let's start with TSA PreCheck. It is an expedited screening program offered by the Transportation Security Administration, or as we all know them as TSA. It is currently available at over 200 airports, including the Nassau, Bahamas, and works with over 90 airlines. The initial cost of TSA PreCheck is $85, and upon renewal, it's $70 if you do it online or $78 if you do it in person. TSA PreCheck is good for 5 years. So what does TSA PreCheck actually do? With TSA PreCheck, you're not required to take off your shoes, your belt, that 321 compliant bag out of your bag, a light jacket that you might have on, or even take out your laptop out of your bag. When it comes to who's eligible, that would include U.S. citizens, U.S. nationals, as well as lawful permanent residents of the United States. Reasons for ineligibility could range from an incomplete application to a disqualifying offense, or even other factors. If there is any potential concern, be sure to check the website for more information. So what is the process? The first step is you're going to go to the TSA PreCheck website and complete the application. The second step is that you're going to visit an enrollment location. My enrollment location was a Staples office supply store. At that location, you'll complete your enrollment. That will include fingerprinting, completing your document, a photo of yourself, as well as payment of your fee. Once approved, you'll obtain your TSA PreCheck number, otherwise known as the Known Travel Number, KTN. And once you have your KTN, there will be some steps that you're going to want to complete. Once you have your KTN, you're going to want to add that to each of your airline profiles. When you make your next airline reservation, make sure that the TSA PreCheck notice is on that boarding pass. When you're at the airport, go through the TSA PreCheck lane and you're on your way. So what about the children when it comes to TSA PreCheck? Well, guidelines can change from time to time, but as of the time of this video, here are the steps when it comes to children. Children 12 and under can accompany their parent or guardian through the TSA PreCheck line without any restrictions. When it comes to children that are 13 to 17, they need to make sure that they have the PreCheck stamp on their boarding pass. For them to be eligible to have that logo on their boarding pass, they must be on the same reservation as the parent or guardian that has TSA PreCheck. Now, if you have a child that normally flies alone, you may want to consider getting them their own TSA PreCheck number. I'll be sure to include a link for the TSA PreCheck children's policy in the description. Something as simple as not having to take your shoes off or your belt off or the laptop out of your bag can make things go so much quicker. Multiply that by being in the same line with others that don't have to do that, and you have bliss. So what about Clear Plus? Clear Plus is a paid airport membership that allows members to move through security faster by using dedicated clear lanes at TSA checkpoints, by verifying identity with biometrics instead of ID. Unlike TSA PreCheck, this is not through a government agency. This service is not just accepted at over 55 airports, it's also accepted at over 15 arenas and stadiums around the nation. An individual membership cost for this service is $199 per year. A family membership would cost $199 for the first person and $119 per person up to 3 additional members. So what does it do? Clear Plus allows you to skip the document verification line at the airport security. You're able to do this by using biometric verification by either your fingerprint or through an eye scan. Once you complete your verification, you are escorted to the front of the security screening line for you to either go through regular security or through TSA PreCheck. So who is eligible for this service? Individuals that are 18 years or older with a U.S. passport, a U.S. driver's license, or a state issue ID would be eligible. Children 17 and under can join the Clear member parent or guardian for free with no account needed. So how does the process work? There are 2 ways you can go through the Clear process. The first one is to begin the enrollment online and then complete the enrollment at the airport with a Clear ambassador, and it would only take a few minutes. Because this second step only takes a few minutes, if you already have a flight going out of an airport that offers Clear, you can complete the enrollment at that time. The alternative is that if you are flying out of an airport that offers Clear, you can complete the entire enrollment with a Clear ambassador in person. Just be sure to allow enough time though. I definitely encourage you to use the first option. Beginning that enrollment only took 5 to 10 minutes, and once I ended up getting the airport and for them to do the initial biometrics, it really got done in about another 5 to 10 minutes at the most. So how do we use Clear? Well, first we need to end up identifying the Clear lane at the security checkpoint. You'll scan your boarding pass at the Clear pod. They'll verify your identity with either your fingerprint or by doing a facial scan. Once your verification is completed, a Clear ambassador will walk you right to the front of the TSA screening lane. You'll then proceed through the standard security lane or through TSA PreCheck. Now, I must admit, it is a great feeling to get escorted to the front by that Clear ambassador. Now, while I don't want everybody to have it, I do want all of you to have it to experience how much better it can make your experience. If you're finding any of this information beneficial, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss a single video or our weekly live stream Points and Miles report that provides you all the news you need when it comes to points and miles. So what about Global Entry? Global Entry is a U.S. Customs and Border Protection program that allows pre-approved low-risk travelers to expedite their entry back into the United States. The cost of Global Entry is $120, and it is also for a 5-year period. One included benefit of Global Entry is that it comes with TSA PreCheck. So what does it do? Upon arrival from international travel, members can use automated kiosks to bypass passport control lines and paper customs declarations. When it comes to eligibility, you must be a U.S. citizen, a lawful permanent resident of the United States, or a citizen of one of the countries that are participating in the Global Entry program. You also need to be 18 years or older, or if you are a minor, you need approval from a parent or guardian. So when it comes to minors in this particular program, minors need to have their own Global Entry account. Now, the fee would still be $120 for even a minor, but there are a couple of instances where that fee is waived. And those are if the parent or legal guardian is already enrolled in Global Entry or is in the process and the status is pending. In both of those cases, that $120 fee is waived for the minor. So what is the process to get Global Entry? The first step in the process for a Global Entry is to create a Trusted Traveler Program account online. Once the account is created, you'll complete your enrollment online and pay the $120 non-refundable fee. Once your application is conditionally approved, you'll then end up being notified through your TTP account that you need to schedule an interview. You'll schedule the interview at a Global Entry Enrollment Center. Now, one tip for this is that if you notice, there's only 100 plus Global Entry enrollment offices, while there was over 500 of the TSA PreChecks, and that definitely makes a difference. Now, that limited number of Global Entry enrollment centers brings two problems that you have to be aware of. One is that because there's so few of them, it does take a while to get an appointment. The second problem is, because there's so few of them, is that you may have to travel a bit to get there. In my case, when I did Global Entry, I had to drive 2 hours to go to some place to do this enrollment. Those two reasons are why I initially had gotten TSA PreCheck first and not Global Entry. When you do attend the interview, make sure that you have the proper identification of a passport, the driver's license, or a state ID. And if you're a lawful permanent resident, you must present your machine-readable permanent resident card. Now, at the time that I'm doing this video, they say that 80% of applicants are approved within 2 weeks. So now that you've received Global Entry, we need to go and address the TSA PreCheck portion. When you just have TSA PreCheck alone, you have that known traveler number, or KTN. Well, when under Global Entry, it's called a Pass ID number. So be sure to add the Pass ID number to all of your airline profiles so that you can take advantage of TSA PreCheck. When you make your next reservation, be sure that the TSA PreCheck stamp is on your boarding pass. When you're at the airport, go through the TSA PreCheck lane, and once again, you're on your way. When it comes to Global Entry, before you leave the United States, check to see if your returning airport has global entry lanes. Over 70 U.S. airports do. When returning to a U.S. airport with global entry lanes, you can go to the kiosk, slide your passport into the reader, have your photo taken, and your fingerprint scanned. You'll be able to complete a customs declaration right on the touchscreen. It'll then print out a receipt that you'll be able to show to security to enter into the arrival hall. And I can tell you from personal experience that global entry makes a huge difference. When I returned back from the United States from Australia, I spent more time walking from the airplane to immigration than I actually spent in immigration. Now, I said that there were 3 costly mistakes that you absolutely had to avoid. So let's start talking about those. The first costly mistake is believing that you have to actually choose between these programs. I have flown with none of these programs. I've flown with TSA PreCheck. I've flown with TSA PreCheck and Clear. And now I have global entry, including TSA PreCheck and Clear all together. It makes the entire process so seamless. Now, these program costs can add up, which then leads us to the second costly mistake to avoid. There are a number of credit cards that have a benefit that include reimbursing you for your TSA PreCheck or global entry costs. And there are even a few credit cards that will actually reimburse you for your annual membership with Clear. And that's why for me, I don't pay any cost for these services. TSA actually has a website with a long list of credit cards that do provide these credits for TSA PreCheck and global entry. I'll include a link in the description so that you can easily view this list. But keep in mind, things do change, and I'm sure that the list is not completely exhaustive. Let's take a look at a sample of these credit cards that you may already have in your wallet. A couple of the cards with American Express include the American Express Platinum, the Delta SkyMiles Platinum, as well as the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant. Bank of America has the Premium Rewards card and the Premium Rewards Elite, and that Premium Rewards card has an annual fee of less than $100. Capital One has the Venture, which has less than $100 annual fee, and the Venture X. Chase has the Air Canada Aeroplan card, IHG Premier card, Sapphire Reserve, and the United Explorer card. Citi has the Advantage World Elite, and US Bank has the Altitude Connect. Remember, the list that TSA has is not exhaustive. I'm sure that there are going to be some smaller banks and some credit unions that have credit cards that offer this, so be sure to check on your own cards. When it comes to credit cards that will provide a credit for Clear, American Express is the only credit card issuer that has that. And they have this on 5 of their credit cards. And that would be the American Express Green Card, the American Express Hilton Aspire, American Express Platinum, American Express Platinum Business, and of course, the Centurion card. And all of this leads us to the third costly mistake you must avoid, and that people not knowing that if you have multiple cards with these credits for TSA PreCheck or global entry or Clear, that you can actually use these credits for people other than yourself. The credits do not have to go to waste. So for example, let's say that you have an American Express Platinum card, a Hilton Aspire credit card, and a Capital One Venture credit card. That would mean that you have 2 credits for TSA PreCheck or global entry and 2 Clear credits available. That would mean you could use one of the TSA PreCheck or global entry credits and one of the Clear credits for yourself. The second of those credits can either go to a significant other, a child, or anyone that you choose. The credit card issuer does not care what person got TSA PreCheck, global entry, or Clear. Travel can be stressful, especially at the airport, but by having TSA PreCheck, global entry, or Clear Plus, or a combination, it does not have to be that way. Now that you know how you can make your airport experience better, you need to know about the premium credit card that can provide you that credit for global entry and Clear, as well as a lot of additional benefits on that credit card. But is it the right card for you? I will walk you through the good and the bad so that you can decide for yourself, and you're going to find that card right here.